So, here's the latest bombshell that just dropped. Johnny Depp landed in Japan for the first time in 8 years, and guess what? It wasn't just a normal celebrity arrival. The airport went absolutely crazy when he stepped off that plane, and people are still talking about it. Fans, cameras, flashing lights, it was like a scene from one of his movies. But hold on, that's not all. You won't believe how Johnny actually reacted to all of this. It wasn't at all what anyone expected. If you've been following Johnny Depp over the past few years, you know that his life has been full of drama. But this moment, his return to Japan, feels like something different. And trust me, you're going to want to stick around for this one. I'm going to break down everything that went down at the airport, Johnny's surprisingly calm reaction, and what this trip really means for him. Let's dive in and see why Johnny Depp's arrival in Japan was anything but ordinary. First of all, let's talk about the scene at the airport. I'm sure when you think of a celebrity arriving in a foreign country, you picture the usual chaos, fans screaming, paparazzi snapping pictures, the whole circus that surrounds famous faces. Well, that's exactly what happened when Johnny landed in Japan, but there was something a little different about it this time. When he stepped off the plane, it was like the world stopped for a second. Fans were packed into the terminal, holding signs and shouting his name. Cameras were flashing from every direction, capturing every single moment. It wasn't just a welcoming crowd, it was like an event. Think of it like a red carpet, but in an airport. People were even crying from excitement. And let's be real, who wouldn't be emotional if you were a huge Johnny Depp fan and saw him in the flesh after so many years? It's been a while since we've seen him in public like this, so the hype was real. But here's where it gets interesting. While all of this was happening, Johnny, in typical Johnny Depp fashion, didn't get caught up in the frenzy. He didn't give some huge dramatic wave or stop to talk to every single person. In fact, he kept it pretty chill. Fans tried to get closer, but Johnny didn't linger for photos or make any long speeches. Instead, he just smiled, nodded, and kept walking. It was almost like he was back in the good old days when he was the biggest star in the world, except this time he seemed more relaxed. It was almost as if he was used to all the attention but didn't feel the need to feed into it. Now, you might be thinking, wait, this is Johnny Depp we're talking about. Shouldn't he be soaking up the spotlight? Well, no. Johnny's reaction was exactly the opposite. The calmness was striking. No frantic gestures. No over-the-top reactions. He just took it all in stride, like it was just another day for him. And, honestly, it was a little surprising. But maybe that's the thing about Johnny Depp. After everything he's been through in the past few years, the trials, the public scrutiny, this wasn't just some starstruck moment for him. It was more like a moment of peace, where he could embrace his fans without getting swept up in the drama. Maybe he's at a point in his life where the chaos doesn't faze him anymore, or maybe he just wanted to keep a low profile. Either way, his reaction left everyone in awe. Of course, we can't ignore the obvious. This is Johnny Depp's first visit to Japan in 8 years. That's a pretty long time, considering how much he loved the country back when he was filming Pirates of the Caribbean. But after all the media frenzy surrounding his personal life, he stayed pretty quiet. So, why now? Why make a public appearance like this, especially after such a long hiatus? That's a question everyone's been asking, and there are a few theories floating around. Let's take a moment to think about it. Johnny Depp, over the years, has been one of the most famous actors in the world. He's played iconic roles that have defined his career, Edward Scissorhands, Captain Jack Sparrow, and let's not forget Donnie Brasco. But after all the ups and downs, it seems like this visit to Japan could be a fresh start. Maybe it's a chance for Johnny to reintroduce himself to the world in a different light. Maybe it's a way to slowly ease back into the spotlight without jumping straight back into the chaos of Hollywood. Sources close to Johnny have hinted that this visit might have something to do with work. Yep, it seems like Johnny's trip to Japan isn't just about reuniting with old fans or soaking in the culture. It's actually believed to be tied to an upcoming project. That's right, Johnny Depp might be getting back into acting in a major way. The word on the street is that he's in talks with Japanese filmmakers about an exciting role that could take him to international audiences again. Now, let me pause here and say something that might surprise you. This is not just some random project. According to insiders, this collaboration with a Japanese director is shaping up to be a big deal. And no, I'm not talking about just any old movie. This could be a project that gets Johnny back into the international spotlight and even introduces him to a new fan base in Japan and across Asia. This move might seem like a natural progression for Johnny, considering how much love he's received from his Japanese fans in the past. You have to remember that he shot Pirates of the Caribbean promotional material in Japan back in the early 2000s, and he's always had a special connection to the country. So, this trip might just be the start of something even bigger. But let's not forget the emotional side of it. Fans were thrilled to see Johnny back in Japan, and his cool and composed demeanor might have made the moment even more special. It's like he was giving his fans a chance to remember who he is, not just as a celebrity, but as a person who's been through a lot and is still standing strong. His calmness in the face of all the chaos showed that he's matured, but he still values his connection with his fans. So, if you're wondering why Japan? The answer is simple: Johnny Depp has always had a special connection with the country and its people. Japan has been one of his biggest international fan bases for years, and he's shown nothing but love and respect for the culture. In fact, his history with Japan goes back a long way, even to when he filmed Pirates of the Caribbean promotional materials there. He's always felt a deep appreciation for the country's art, history, and traditions. For Johnny, Japan isn't just another country, it's a place where he feels a sense of connection and admiration. But there's more to this trip than just a warm return to a place he loves. Japan represents a fresh chapter for Johnny Depp, a chance to reintroduce himself to the world on his own terms. After everything that's happened in the past few years, his very public legal battles, media scrutiny, and personal challenges, this visit is his opportunity to show the world that he's still here, still relevant, and ready to face whatever comes next. It's a sign that he's not shying away from the spotlight anymore. Instead, Johnny is embracing the next phase of his life with a renewed sense of purpose. This trip is symbolic. It's about moving forward, reconnecting with fans, and taking charge of his future. It's like he's telling the world, I'm not finished yet, I've still got so much to offer. Now, let's get into some behind-the-scenes details that you might not know. Fans who were lucky enough to be in the airport shared some pretty cool stories about their encounters with Johnny. While he didn't stop for long chats, he did acknowledge the crowd. Some people said that Johnny smiled and even waved to them in a way that felt genuine. He wasn't acting like the typical superstar who expects everyone to bow down. He was just a guy who's been through a lot and still wants to show appreciation for the people who've supported him. I mean, think about it. This is a guy who's been the subject of constant media scrutiny. Yet, here he is, standing tall, facing the chaos, and giving a nod to the people who've stuck with him through thick and thin. That says a lot about Johnny's character, right? And here's the kicker, this isn't just a one-time trip. Rumor has it that Johnny plans to return to Japan for future projects and engagements. He's not just there for a quick visit. He's likely there to plant the seeds for something much bigger. And fans? Well, they're all in, ready for whatever comes next. As for what's next for Johnny Depp, it's hard to say for sure. But one thing's for certain, this trip to Japan has opened up a whole new chapter for him. Whether it's a return to acting, a new project, or just a chance for him to embrace the love and admiration of his fans, Johnny Depp's return to Japan is a big deal. It's his chance to show the world that he's not going anywhere. And the fans? They're definitely here for it. So, what do you think? Do you believe that Johnny Depp's arrival in Japan marks the start of something bigger, or is it just a casual visit? What do you think his next move will be? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, I'd love to hear from you. And before you go, make sure to check out my other videos about Johnny Depp's career and personal life. You won't want to miss any of the latest updates. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications. I've got a lot more exciting content coming your way. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.